you, Kate?
I'm good.
Excellent. Welcome to History Buffoons.
Do we say that every time? Because I really don't remember.
I feel like there's times where we forget.
Well, hey, we're History Buffoons.
Yeah, we're buffoons. We don't even remember to say our own name.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, at least the picture says it.
Yes.
And it's worth 1,000 words.
Sure.
So we're told.
So we're at my house today.
Hello, house.
And all my cats are out, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Usually the only one that's the culprit is the current one sitting on the table.
Oliver.
He is the one that likes to, he's looking at you like, what? He's the one that plays with the cords the most. Usually the other ones are pretty good.
Yeah, except for Bonnie and Amos tend to their hair tends to collect all over my microphone and then it's in my mouth.
That's an understatement. I've literally said before on a podcast that, did I just pick up my pod bag or did I pick up a cat?
It's true.
It's true. The only other, and it involves Oliver, is he likes to fight with Frankie sometimes when.
Yeah.
But it's still, I'll blame it on Oliver still because he's 50% of that.
He is.
Either way.
At least.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a new beer from McFleshman's.
Is that what it is?
McFleshman's?
I just saw the name of the beer. I didn't actually look at the company. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But that's the one out of Oshkosh, I said, right?
You said that, but I can't tell based on
looking at it.
No, it says Appleton.
Oh. Which one did I?
McFleshman's Brewing Company in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Oh, maybe that was a different one I was looking at.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So I travel to Appleton every once in a while. It's not very far away from my house.
No, it's not.
So this is the Pirates Cove Hell's Lager.
Hellas. Yeah.
Hellas Lager.
It's a style of lager.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I have a Ninja Dust Hazy IPA. It's from One Barrel in Wisconsin. Where is One Barrel in Wisconsin? I don't remember. Oh, of course, the sticker is covering up some of it.
So my beer, the image that you said you really liked is kind of like a, almost like a Mayan, colorful Mexican image, but it's abstract.
Yeah.
So the artist that made it is from Oshkosh.
Oh, maybe that's what I read.
Yes.
Okay, that's probably what I read then.
Yes. His name is Leif Larson.
Leif?
Leif. Leif
Nice.
Larson from Oshkosh.
All right.
And then the McFleshman's Brewing Company is in Appleton.
Okay. So
and they're within 15 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
so.
they're super close.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I guess I just misread and read the artist. So
yeah.
Let's open that beer.
Oh, it went all over my shirt.
All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Okay. I like mine.
I like mine.
It's pretty good.
I like mine's got a little penguin with a mask on. Penguin Ninja? Anyways.
I wonder how they come up with these names.
Well, I used to work with a guy who is part owner of a brewery in Madison. And we won't say the name of the brewery because maybe we'll do a future. He does a lot of sours. Mm-hmm. I like sours, but I just can only have so many. Mm-hmm. I know they have other stuff, but they are very sour heavy. But they picked the most random shit. And I was asking him one time, I saw him, I don't know, a while ago. And he just basically, cats are at it. He basically just they'll have a random conversation and say something like, that'd be a good beer name. So, I mean, it literally can come from anywhere kind of thing. So, well, we knew that might happen.
And if you heard that was Amos playing with a ball. He's a sweet boy, but he's not super playful. So when he is, it's just cute and I don't want to stop it.
No, for sure.
And he doesn't cuddle. So when he does cuddle in the middle of the night, I will wake up and I will cuddle with him until he's done. And then I will go back to sleep because it just doesn't happen.
There you go.
Yes. So speaking of names, we already have our next two podcasts.
Yeah, we've been, I don't know, brainstorming or they just kind of fell into our lap with conversation. So, we won't say them now, but.
Oh, no, but
They're pretty great.
I would like to put them in the works, but it's obviously very, very fresh in our minds. But
yeah, we have to develop them first as we're still trying to grow this one, because thanks to the people that have listened to our podcast, we greatly appreciate you. Again, feel free to go to our website, historybuffoonspodcast.com, and leave us a voicemail, send us a message, whatever.
Interview us, please.
We want to interact with all of you because, I know it's unfortunately right now, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Right now, I know it's just a small group of people. And yes, we know a good chunk of them. But we greatly appreciate everyone who actually listens to our episodes, because we have fun making these. We have fun trying new beers. We have fun learning new stories that Kate brings to us. And I like making fun of her.
So I have my husband and I have a mutual friend in Illinois, and she told me recently that she had been catching up on them.
Yeah.
And every new episode she listens to, she'll text me something that I said, and I'll be like, I text you, I'm like, did I say this? I don't remember saying that.
Well, yeah, like the one you actually sent me that yesterday, and I'm like, I have no idea. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I think you did mention something like this, and I don't know if I'm right.
I don't know.
Because obviously I listen to the podcast a lot while I'm editing. I listen to it when it's released, and then I don't usually re-listen because I've listened to it probably 100 freaking times by the time it gets released through editing. Maybe not all in a row, obviously, but I'm like, did we say that?
I know, like she'll be like, "Oh yeah, this. I didn't know about this." I'm like, I don't remember either.
Well, and it's funny too because our first listener, Al, he listened to the last episode, and he texts me because we were talking about how we took pills with like Cool Whip and stuff and whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I feed my dog pills with peanut butter." He just texts me that. I'm like, that's awesome. So thank you, Al. Appreciate that feedback. Love it. So I just thought that was great.
All right. Well, I was wondering, so you've mentioned to me before that you like fireplaces and you like stoking fires.
I do. Well, can I interject something
Always.
to that? Mm-hmm. So my parents are up there in years because, as you said all the time, how
You're
old I am.
old. Mm-hmm.
So clearly my parents are way older. They, the house they currently live in, I only lived there for, I don't know, year or two, whatever it was, because we moved in when I was a senior in high school to the new house, not the house I grew up in, but in the house I grew up in too, I also had one. They had a fireplace built as part of the living room. And I don't know, it's probably been 5, 6 or so years already now, if not more. They had it converted to a gas. Mm-hmm. And I miss going over there on like Thanksgiving, and even though I'm warm all the time and fires don't help with that, I liked putting another log on the fire, stoking the fire. I just like maintaining it. It just, I don't know, is relaxing, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy that. So I miss having, because I don't unfortunately have one, I really miss having a real fireplace. So yeah.
Well, that and Santa Claus can't come down.
Yeah, that creepy bastard comes in a different way, doesn't he? Wow.
Through the hole in your basement where all the raccoons and opossums get in?
We've never had a raccoon, only possums. Thank God. Or where my cat goes to get stuck in a cistern under my house. I mean, same spot.
Yeah.
But apparently possums are a little more nimble than cats. Or have weird, creepy paws that can crawl out of cisterns. I don't know.
I would think cats would be much more limber.
Yeah, well, tell that to Mo.
Mo only has one eye.
Yeah, he's special.
We're gonna play. Well, let's just blame it on that. He fell into the cistern underneath the house because he only had one eye.
Well, we can do that because Sarah found. I don't remember the whole origin story of Mo, but it was basically she rescued him. They found him, but like in a dumpster, behind a dumpster, or whatever it was, when she lived down south, and I think he was at a local shelter, whatever it was. And she, being the person that she is, very sweet to animals especially, she's like, well, I can't just let him here because he's probably going to get put down or something. So she adopted him. Mm-hmm. And he is crazy. He bounces off the wall all the time. He's weird. He's got this weird snot thing all the time. It's gross. He's got one eye, like you said. Yeah, he's always under my feet these days too, which is weird. But I also think because we've brought up my dog before on the podcast. We unfortunately had to put him down. What was that? 3-4 weeks ago now, because he was old. He had a tumor. What's the word? Metastasized? Is that the right word? And yeah, he wasn't doing good. So I think Mo misses his buddy because as much as they were mortal enemies, they were also very good friends, which is weird. But he's always under my feet right now. But anyways.
Well, what if your fire never went out?
Ooh, like the eternal flame?
Yeah.
That would be pretty impressive.
It's not gas. It's literally like a burning flame.
So would I have to stoke it still? Because I feel like, what's the point?
You leave it alone.
Oh.
You leave the fire alone and it just continues on. Like, would you freak out?
Yeah, because
you would try to put it out, but it doesn't go out.
That'd be weird. Like even if you splash some water on it kind of thing?
It wouldn't go out.
Oh, that would be almost kind of freaky.
Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what happened with Centralia, Pennsylvania.
What?
Centralia, Pennsylvania.
What's Centralia? That's a town?
It is a town in Pennsylvania.
That's always on fire?
It is on fire.
Like to this day?
Yes.
So is it like a natural gas thing that shoots up through the ground and it's just on fire?
I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, it is a town, right?
Centralia.
Yes. Centralia. 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 Centralia.
Tomato.
Right. How many people do you think live there? I will tell you eventually. But I want to start off the story without you knowing any context other than the town is on fire.
How many... The town is on fire. How many people live in Centralia, Pennsylvania? I'm going to go with 250.
Okay, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Okay, so we're going to talk about anthracite.
Oh, okay.
So it is a hard black coal.
Yeah.
So it's a natural mineral with a high carbon and energy content that gives off light and heat produce energy.
Okay.
And when burned, it's used as fuel essentially.
Sure.
So an interesting fact about anthracite, it is 98% carbon, 2% away from being a diamond.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
So it's just not quite enough cool to be the diamond. Aw, poor anthracite.
So anthracite was possibly first used in Pennsylvania as fuel in 1769.
What would they fuel with that? Like trains and stuff like that? Or what would they use the fuel for?
It would be mostly industrial uses.
Okay, sure. Makes sense.
So anthracite coal was primarily used for domestic heating.
Oh,
and then
gotcha.
Industrial purposes, like I said. It was primarily fuel for heating homes and buildings.
Okay.
Its high heat output and clean burning properties made it popular.
Sure.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So I'll get to it, but there's another coal in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the name of it. Bituminous?
I believe you. Can you try and say that one more time? Because I just like hearing you say that.
Bituminous?
Let's go with yes. I like that
so
one.
that type of coal is much more prominent in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Oh, so anthracite is there, but it's not as abundant as the B word.
So anthracite also fueled steam engines,
right,
and ships.
Okay.
And then anthracite was used in blast furnaces to produce iron and steel, and it was also used in textile manufacturing and glass making. So, and I don't. Obviously, you might get to this. Was it? I'm sure anthracite's obviously in other locations than just Pennsylvania, but was it rather abundant there? You said the other one was more. It's really not super abundant. Okay. There's only like a specific area of Pennsylvania, and if if I believe I'm right, it's like the upper east corner of Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
And like the southern western part of Pennsylvania is the God damn it.
That's why I haven't even attempted to say it, because I haven't even heard it properly yet.
Bituminous.
How does that go? Anyways, continue.
Should I ask Google how to pronounce it?
No, just keep going, because I like you messing it up more than knowing. That's
okay, so
fantastic.
Early production of anthracite in 1810 only had about 350 tons, and it was mined due to transportation difficulties and industrial immaturity. So the War of 1812 increased anthracite usage as British and Virginia coal supplies were disrupted due to the British blockade and Virginia's shortage.
Okay.
So the War of 1812 helped anthracite outcompete Virginia's bituminous coal.
say bee coal.
The bee coal. I'll say bit coal.
Bit coal. I like it. All right, let's do that one.
Thankfully, I don't have to say it very much more, but
oh, thank God. You're welcome, listeners.
Bit coal doesn't produce as much heat
As anthracite?
Yeah, and it's quite smoky.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the anthracite burns cleaner?
It's smokeless.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like completely?
Yeah, and has a high amount of heat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the opening of major canals facilitated anthracite transportation to urban markets.
Ooh.
So it became valuable fuel for domestic heating, cooking, and small businesses.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So the life of a coal miner, them poor dears.
Oh, man. They had a rough life.
They had a really rough life. Yeah. So coal camps often failed to deliver on their promises, which included prosperity and opportunity. And
that was hard ass fucking work. And you're going down in those mines.
Yeah. So they faced really low pay and company control over their living expenses through company owned housing and stores.
Okay.
And conflicts frequently arose over the process of weighing coal and impacting miners' earnings.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the cynical nature of the coal industry led to unstable and precarious employment.
Sure.
And a lot of times, coal camping living conditions were unsanitary and overcrowded.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably because they had to live near the mine or whatever, and you have quite a big pocket of people all of a sudden, and 18 whatever, there's not like plumbing, there's not any plumbing that they can.
Oh yeah,
I gotta go flush the toilet. No, you're just gonna go shit behind a bush.
Pretty much.
Yep. So anyways.
And it was also very, very dangerous.
Right.
Between the years 1880 and 1923, over 70,000 miners died on the job.
Holy shit. 70,000?
Yeah.
Over 70? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
So major mine disasters killed hundreds of mine. Like even just a single disaster can kill hundreds.
Well, yeah, because usually the mine would implode and there's all those miners in there. Mm-hmm. It's not like they can just take an excavator and be like, we'll get you out in a couple minutes.
Right.
Not that it takes a couple minutes today even, but wow.
So I'm going to kind of tell you like a day in the life of a coal miner.
Okay.
Now this was taken from, I believe, New York City or New York State mine, but this is very similar.
After you take us through a day in the life of a coal miner, do we get to learn about a coal miner's daughter?
No.
Did you ever hear that song?
No.
I think it's a song. Yeah.
Was that like Patsy Cline or something?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know of it. I don't really know it. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
Okay. So early mornings, late nights.
Right.
And that was the norm for miners.
Ugh.
And mining companies expected employees to be underground by 7 a.m.
Okay. That's not so bad.
It forced miners... Well, no, because you get up at 3:30.
I know. It sucks. I'm like, fuck, 7 o'clock. I could sleep until 6 and be there by 7. I'd love that right now. Jeez.
So before descending Miners would change into their work clothes, which typically included sturdy pants,
The overalls?
undershirt, heavy shoes,
Sure.
a felt hat hardened with resin or linseed oil protected their heads.
So like a makeshift hard hat, basically. Okay.
And they would have essential tools like drill steels, hammers, sledges,
Pickaxe?
candles,
Yeah, candles would help.
and their lunch
And their lunch, because they're going to be down there literally all day, right?
all day.
Yeah.
Some companies made each miner carry a brass. It was a metal token with their unique number on it.
Oh, so they could identify them, basically?
This was used for safety tracking.
So in a way, it was like their version of dog tags?
Yes. However, when you came back up from underground, you would give them
it
their
back.
tag, and if
Sure.
there was a tag missing,
They would know a miner is missing.
yes.
Yeah.
So, in the late 1800s, candle provided the only light in the mines.
That's crazy.
These 9-inch and 3/4-inch diameter candles burned slowly and produced minimal smoke. They were made of hard tallow and maintained their shape in the mine's humid and warm conditions.
Yeah, I say it probably was pretty warm in those mines.
They also bought their candles for 5 cents each,
Like the miners had to purchase them? Oh, that's a dick move.
and one might be secured to the hem of the brim of their
Brim of their
hat.
hat, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was picturing, because I've seen old, like, where they got, it's belted off. And,
Yeah, they
So they
used
could
clay to like stick it on there.
Okay.
Yeah. And if a miner didn't attach a candle to their hat, they could use a wrought iron like candle holder,
Sure.
and that could be wedged into the mine walls.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
So miners typically descended into the mine via a ladder,
Okay.
and it is a process they refer to as walking to work.
Oh, God. That sounds terrible.
Many preferred this way to the swaying bucket that lowered them into the darkness.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least you have some control over that.
Once underground, the horrendous task of drilling holes for explosives began.
Yeah, because that's how they mined it, basically, is they blew it up.
So the mines offered a variety of conditions from warm and humid to cool and humid. So below the water table, moisture seeped into the walls and ceilings, creating slippery and hazardous standing water.
Sure.
So they would also use a single and double jacking technique.
Single and double jacking?
So single jacking is using a 4-pound hammer,
Okay.
and it was ideal in narrow spaces or overhead drilling. One miner held the drill steel, striking it 50 times per minute
Oh, my God.
while rotating it. So then the next person would do it.
That's crazy.
Double jacking involved one miner holding and turning the steel
Well, two others?
while another swung
Okay.
an 8-pound sledge 25 times per minute.
Oh, that had to be hard fucking work.
And they switched positions every 15 minutes.
Yeah, because your arms got to be like jello by the end of the day.
In larger areas, triple jacking was possible, with 2 miners swinging sledges and one rotating the steel.
Okay, so that's what I thought the double was, but yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. So before dynamite, miners used black powder. It was a mixture of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal.
Okay.
Black powder was unreliable, often misfiring or causing hang fires.
What's a hang fire?
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
Okay, cool. There's the first one. All right.
Should we tally?
Maybe we should. I got a notebook right here. Hold on. I'm just going to put a little tally mark. All right, got it.
So in 1831, William Bickford invented a fuse for black powder made of black powder wrapped in jute, twine, and waterproof tape.
What's jute?
It's a type of rope.
Oh, okay.
And it burned at a rate of 1 inch per 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
So, no time.
I mean, it took a while because 1 inch, 30 seconds,
Yeah.
10 inches, that's, 300 seconds. How many minutes is that?
I don't know, math genius.
5.
That's right.
That's right.
Great job, Bradley.
Well, I math well.
So the invention of dynamite replaced black powder. 1 pound of dynamite was equivalent to 2 2/3 pound of black powder.
Okay.
Although dynamite caused headaches and nausea, its biggest issue was instability at temperatures above 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it worked better below that?
So mines used metal dynamite warmers.
Okay.
And they would often take their dynamite home with them and sleep with them.
What the fuck?
To keep it warm.
Did anyone blow up doing that? Because I feel like that should have happened. Holy shit.
It's not on fire.
I get that, but I mean, doesn't dynamite have nitroglycerin in it or something like that?
I don't know. That's not part of my research.
Okay. Tally number 2.
It's got TNT in it.
It's dynamite. Yeah.
TNT.
Okay. I called for that one. That's on me. Fuck. Oh, my bad.
Okay, so
would you go to bed with a stick of dynamite? I wouldn't. Holy Christ.
okay, but it's not lit.
I understand that. I might be, though.
You go to bed with your kids.
Yeah?
You don't know what they're going to do in the middle of the night.
They're not dynamite. Although Vesper does blow up a lot. Or blow out, for that matter.
Oh, gross.
Yep.
Moving on. So mining was not like a continuous process. So significant time was spent drilling, blasting, removing debris.
Basically, it was setting it up. Then you had the removal.
Yeah.
So, like, did they have, like, setup crews and then removal crews? All right. Tally?
I'm in the day in the life of one coal miner, not the company.
I get that. Anyways, I apologize for asking you questions.
So, unsanitary conditions caused by waste. What now?
Where did they go to the bathroom in the mine?
If you would let me continue talking, they use a bucket.
Fuck it. Use the bucket. Oh, gross. Did they wheel that up on the pulley to empty it, or what'd they do with that?
They assigned the lowest ranking worker.
Oh, sucks to be that guy. That's literally a peon. Oh, man.
So at the end of the day, miners rode the bucket up to the different bucket.
I hope they used a different
up to the surface.
Is this the piss bucket or is this the lift bucket?
The lift bucket.
Fuck.
So they were often crammed in together with others. So the swaying bucket could cause injuries as well. But upon returning, miners turned in their brass and tools and proceeded to the drying room. While companies claimed this was to keep clothing warm and dry,
no.
The real reason was to prevent high grading, which is stealing valuable minerals.
So they basically, kind of like in the
radium, pat you down.
In the Radium Girls, where they went to that room and they had to dust them off or whatever.
That was to save the minerals. This is to prevent stealing.
Well, wouldn't that be stealing?
Not if you didn't know that was on you.
Well, I get that, but it's the same concept as I'm saying.
I suppose.
They're just trying to make sure it doesn't leave the area,
right,
if you will.
Yeah.
Instead of, I mean, what would those miners do? Is like, ooh, I got like 2 specks of coal on me. I'm rich. I mean, what the fuck? But I guess whatever.
So it was high grading was less prevalent when miners worked independently.
Okay.
But it became more common when miners became employees of large mining companies.
Sure.
So there were gold at times, so they would hide gold in various places, including secret pockets, boot heels, lunch pails, hat bands, in uneaten food,
Ew.
in their hats, and even under their fingernails.
So under their fingernails? I say that right now, too, because I recently, yesterday or the day before, cut under my fingernail, and it fucking hurts.
It does.
I would not want to shove a piece of gold under my fingernail. I don't care how malleable it is.
Well, this high grading was seen as a way to supplement their ridiculous average daily wage of $3.
That's all they made per day. And what? Can you refresh my memory on the time frame of this? This was early 1800s, right?
Yes. Yeah, late 1700s, early 1800s.
$3 fucking a day. Mm-hmm. What's that in today's money?
I didn't look it up.
God damn it! There's another tally. You were doing so good on that,
I
too.
know. How could I forget to look at the inflation rate?
I don't know. But
I'm going to look it up now.
all right.
Go get another beer.
Okay. So how much is that in today's money?
We don't know.
Why?
Because inflation calculators only go back to 1913.
I mean, okay.
But I don't know why that is.
I don't either. That's strange. I get that. I still feel like they could have a educated guess.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, like I'm not saying exact, but just a random guess. But okay, fair enough. That's odd. It doesn't go before that. At least nothing you found.
The interwebs say that it's because data is less reliable before 1913.
Sure. I mean, I understand that. But
Yeah.
All right. No worries.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just curious.
So.
Wow.
The first mines in Pennsylvania was established around 1761.
The first mines, like, is that a company or is that just like the first ones they've...
The first ones.
Okay.
So they had the mine run railroads construction in 1854, and that led to continued coal discovery throughout the lands, if you will.
Across the lands, we discovered coal.
Mining engineer Alexander Ray planned and developed the village of Centralia, and he named it in 1865.
Do you know what it's named after?
So Centralia was actually called like Bullhead or something like that.
Bullhead?
Yeah, and then they changed it to Centralville.
Okay.
But there was literally another town in Pennsylvania called Centralville, so they changed it to Centralia.
Shit, we need to change that, man.
Yeah, it had a progression.
Okay, well, I mean, at least we know why.
Yeah. So, according to the numbers of the federal census records,
Okay.
the town of Centralia reached its maximum population of 2,761 in 1890.
I was 10 times less.
That was not the question I asked you, though.
No, that is true.
Yes. I asked you what it would be like now.
Oh.
Yeah. You said 250 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back in 1890, the peak that it was at was 2,761.
Okay.
Okay. So at its peak, the town had 7 churches.
Wow.
5 hotels.
Jesus.
27 saloons.
That's a lot of saloons.
We'd probably go to all of them.
I mean, we'd probably make another one.
Fair. 2 theaters.
Really?
A bank.
Well.
A post office. And 14 general and grocery stores.
That's
for 2,700 people.
That is a shit ton for that small of a population.
Okay, so the town that I live in
has a gas station.
It has a church.
Well,
it does.
It's got.
I don't pass it really, but it's and there's like a little
Don't pass it. Well, shit.
There's a little elementary school and
right, and there's what two bars?
Yeah.
And they're like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So that's even weirder.
So
now even like one in the end of each town.
And the population is what, a third?
Oh, it's got to be right. From what would you say, 2,700?
27.
Yeah.
My town is like 700 something, 720.
I kind of want to look it up now.
Yeah. So that's a lot for a town of 2,700. I think that's a lot of businesses.
No, I mean, how many grocery stores / general stores did you say? Like 14? That's insane.
But general stores, it could be like, this is bait and tackle.
No, I totally get that. However,
this is your hardware store.
Yeah, I mean, you get everything you need here, but that's why it's like, how did you need so many of those, though? All right.
Maybe it's just like people coming from the outskirts of Centralia coming to the mines, and so like that's their hub.
Yeah, no, that would, I guess, make sense.
Yeah.
All right, my phone's finally starting to work here. It says, wow. In the 2020 census, the population was 737.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what it says on my welcome to town.
Does it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like almost a fourth of, wow, that's crazy. Okay. That's a lot of stores and 27 saloons. I mean, holy shit. You got 2. Even if you multiplied it by 4, you'd only have 8. And that's how much the population is. That's fucking wild. Okay. Sorry, that threw me for a loop. That's a lot of fucking places for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Let's get back on track here.
The History Buffoons are on a quest to uncover the origins of the weird. From cryptids to conspiracy theories to just plain weird stories, we're delving into the strangest corners of history.
Join us as we unravel the mysteries behind the bizarre. Our new podcast companion is coming soon to take your historical journey to the next level.
So, 37 years later, the production of anthracite coal had reached its peak in Centralia because they went to the big coal. In the following years, production declined.
Okay.
As many young workers from Centralia enlisted in the military.
Oh, okay.
When the U.S. entered World War I.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then the Wall Street crash of 1929 resulted in coal companies closing several Centralia mines.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a total number of mines in Centralia?
I believe I do have the answer to that.
Down the road?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I want to say it was like 14.
All right.
Something like that.
Stay tuned.
So bootleg miners actually continued to mine in several...
miners?
In idle mines. Like they were abandoned mines. They're like, we're going to keep mining.
Well, I mean, I guess if like you're trying to make a living for yourself, especially in those hard times when the stock market crashed and everything.
How are they going to keep up with their beer habit?
Well,
they
there's
gotta
so
go
many
to
saloons.
So many saloons.
And like, fuck, I want to go to that one today, but I don't have enough money. Let's go mine. I mean, that's what I would do.
So the bootleggers would use techniques called pillar robbing.
Okay. Where
miners would extract coal from the coal pillars left in the mines to support their roofs.
That sounds like a terrible fucking idea.
That sounds like a horrible plan.
Because all that's going to do is, I don't know, collapse the mine?
I mean...
Did they reinforce it?
I don't know.
Because I understand
I would imagine they would, but...
You're probably 100%
my imagination
wrong.
also sucks, so...
Oh, don't make me laugh so hard. Oh, dear. I get why they would do that because it's right there.
But guess what it resulted in?
Death. I mean, right?
Collapsed mines.
Yeah, and if you're down there, which most likely you were, even if you're exploding shit, you're probably pretty close. You are fucked. Wow. Okay, idiots. Anyways. Good Lord.
Okay, so in 1950, Centralia Council acquired the rights to all anthracite coal beneath Centralia through a state law that was passed in 1949. That year, the federal census counted 1,986 residents in Centralia.
And this was in 1950?
Yes.
Okay.
Coal mining continued in Centralia until the 1960s.
Okay, so not that much longer after that.
Bootlegging continued until 1982.
Really? Mm-hmm. So they just, hey man, there's still some mines that were made. Let's go fuck them up, basically.
But strip and open pit mining are still active. So you're coming from the top down. You're creating like this huge quarry almost.
In one of my many trips to Colorado that I've told you, I go there a lot. I've gone there a lot over my life. I don't remember exactly where this was. I think it was on my way to Breckenridge from Denver, I believe. I could be wrong. But I actually passed, because like there's still gold in their hills kind of thing. That was great.
Did you bring your panning with you?
I did. But for the first time I saw like the strip mining, because it's literally just shaving off a layer.
Yeah.
Shaving off a layer. And it's like, well, that's depressing. You're taking the mountain away, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But it's safer.
Which I totally understand. But like, that's a big part of like a lot of Colorado, because there's a shit ton of mines, abandoned mines, old mines. You can't go in mines because you're going to die like those dumb fucks doing the bootlegging mining. But I had never seen that before. I'm like, well, that's kind of really depressing, because they're literally like shaving down the mountain. It's like, oh, that's sad, because I love mountains, as you know. And it's like, well, don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So in 1950, there were updated trash laws.
Okay.
Before there were illegal dump sites for garbage.
Oh.
So now they actually use an abandoned site from the 1930s, and they transferred all this trash into this dump site.
Okay.
Which was approximately 50 feet down.
Okay.
Okay. So then the course of history changed forever.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
The City Council of Centralia made a vote.
Oh, what'd they vote on?
So, on this day, May 27th, 1962,
Okay.
the local firefighters set the town landfill on fire
Oh.
in order to clean it up.
That seems like a terrible idea.
And I won't lie, there is a giant mound of trash out at Grandpa's farm
Sure.
in central Illinois. And
Is that because it's... Never mind.
ain't,
Continue.
what are you going to say?
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Bullshit.
I call bullshit on you.
Bullshit. So whenever we had like trash or shit that wouldn't be taken away from,
Right. Yeah.
into the dumpster or whatever, we would have this huge mound.
Sure.
And my husband would light it on fire every couple of weeks or months or whatever.
Sure.
You know what's super fun?
What?
Putting aerosol cans in there.
Yeah. Are you fucking a teenager right now? I mean,
Well, no.
sound
But
like
yeah.
one.
It was fun.
I'm sure it was.
Anyway, okay, so they let it on fire, right? And this was all in preparation of the upcoming Memorial Day holiday. They did this
May
every year.
27th.
They did it every year. Just this one year was different because all the trash was collected and put in this like abandoned pit.
Sure.
Okay.
Was this a pit to a mine or just happened to be a pit near a mine? Is that what it was?
It was by an abandoned
Okay.
mine.
That's what I thought you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I actually say what strip mining is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a surface technique that involves removing layers of soil and rock to access the minerals, kind of like what you said, like kind of shaving the mountain.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The gist of it.
They have like shallow horizontal deposits of coal then.
Okay.
And the process creates long rectangular pits or strips that can fill with water to form strip pits. So that's kind of what this place was.
Okay, gotcha.
So the firefighters, who were volunteers,
Oh, jeez.
because hello, tiny town,
Well, yeah, I mean, not many people.
they let it burn for some time.
Sure, because
Yeah.
they wanted to incinerate the whole pile, basically.
But unlike previous years, the fire was not fully extinguished.
Oh, dear.
Each time the fire would come back, they would put it out,
And it would come
and
back.
it would come back. Then they'd put it out, and it came back, and it came back, and it came back. So finally, they like churned the trash over. Like, let's get the bottom trash up on the top.
And try and just bury it, basically?
And essentially douse the underlying trash.
Right.
So when they were churning it, like it's butter, this is when they realized that there was an unsealed opening in the pit
Yeah.
that allowed the fire to enter the labyrinth of abandoned coal mines underneath Centralia.
Yep, that's not good. Yeah. So, like, do they have free heating during the winter? Because it's, I mean, it's all burning under the ground. It's like, ooh, this land is
Nice and toasty.
I don't even need shoes. It's like walking on sand on the beach. What the shit?
So at one point, like I said, there were 14 active mines in
Right.
town. So can you literally imagine the labyrinth
No.
or like the ant or gopher
Yeah,
tunnels
right.
that this created?
No kidding.
So
No.
the town did know what was happening underground, but they dilly-dallied.
Well, that seems like a fucking mistake.
They wasted 2 months
2 months?
when they finally decided to have a meeting about what they should do about it.
I like that they waited 2 months to decide to have a
Yeah,
meeting. What the fuck is wrong? It's called government. Jesus Christ.
So a contract for $20,000,
Ooh.
which is approximately $196,000,
Good job.
Went to.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. I'll bow when this is over.
Please don't. I don't want you to put out your back.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know.
Okay, so contract went to an excavation team to dig into the town and put out the fire.
Okay.
But the state government restricted where they could work.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
they were not allowed to do any exploratory digging or surveying to determine the damage or where most of the damage is.
Why would they not allow that?
Because it's government.
Well, wouldn't you want to fucking know?
Oh. And they only allowed them to work Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day.
I mean, 40 hours a week.
But at this rate, it's too slow
Well, right.
for the fire. The fire's just...
Well, because fire doesn't have a fucking timetable.
They don't have a timetable.
They don't got to check in.
They're not clocking in and
No.
clocking out.
Oh, got to go on my lunch. Fire's off for an hour.
No.
Fuck that. Got to get to one of those 27 saloons. Wow,
So,
people are dumb.
with all this digging,
Yeah,
it brought in more oxygen.
of course it did.
Of course it did.
Which, do you know what oxygen does to a fire?
Kaboom.
It feels it.
So somehow the townspeople are optimistic.
I'm glad at least they have a positive outlook on life right now. Good for them.
But obviously
Fuck
they,
it.
they don't know what's in store for them.
Please tell me Centralia blew up.
No.
Damn it. That would have been an epic finish.
So the fire was burning deep within the town, which made it difficult to kind of directly...
But nice and toasty.
It made it difficult to detect, like,
Sure. Where
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It could be up to 800 feet below the surface.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay, with that being said, is that roughly is that how deep they went? Like,
That's how deep some of them went, yes. So at the time, there was also less understanding of the complex dynamic of underground coal fires.
sure.
There was early signs of the fire, such as steam coming up from the ground,
Yeah, that would do it.
but they actually attributed that to other causes.
Like what?
I'll tell you.
Oh, thank God.
I literally wrote in red, "What other causes, you ask?" Because I knew you're going to.
Like I said, you are learning.
So in some areas, the Earth's heat can cause water to boil and produce steam.
Sure, I get that.
So this is especially common in volcanic regions or areas with high geothermal gradients. So 99% not likely here.
I didn't realize Pennsylvania was volcanic.
I need to take off my shoes and socks. I'm getting warm.
Oh, jeez. Too much laughter? Yes. Or are you standing in Centralia and the ground's warm?
Okay, so another cause, if there were any nearby industries, such as factories or power plants,
Well, yeah.
they might have been releasing steam as part of their operations, but again, I doubt it.
Like, hey, do you know what we should do with our operation? We should release steam into the ground? I mean, who does that?
And then abandoned mines.
Well,
if there were enough abandoned mines in the area, they could have been filled with water that was heated by the Earth's heat, resulting in steam.
I don't believe that.
So, the government
Sucks.
spent millions of dollars on ways to control and kill the fire, but zero solution worked.
Well, they waited 2 months to have a meeting about it.
And then you can only work 8 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty big fucking thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put a timetable on what you can do it or the hours between you can do it, basically. That's ridiculous.
So by 1977, the townspeople started to split into factions with opposing
Oh,
opinions.
dear. Did they like rival gangs across town? Did they start snapping towards each other? You know? No?
Did you just quote a musical?
I might have.
So some would say that the government should pay for their relocation,
Sure.
and others were like, no, my family has been here for generations. They need to pay us to stay.
Well, I mean, or just fix the fucking problem.
Fix the problem, but we're not moving.
No, which is fine. I get that. If your family grew up there, you know, he had roots there for 10, 20, 50, 100 years, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't want to move. Fix this shit, man.
In 1979, you were born in 1979.
There you go.
I think I should get a tally taken off.
No, those they can only be added. They cannot be removed.
Come on.
Nope.
How many tallies do I have?
You've got 3 right now.
Okay, that's not. I should only have 2 for knowing what year you were born.
Well, you don't.
Okay, so in 1979, the Coddington's gas and service station was the first place in town
To blow up?
that the townspeople finally realized how severe their situation was.
They finally realized in 1979. This has been going on for how long?
19 years.
Yeah. What the shit is happening?
The owner of the gas station noticed some steam rising up near his
God.
property.
That's not good.
He measured his gas tanks under his station, and they topped out at 136 degrees Fahrenheit.
What are they supposed to be at? All right, hold on. I got to get my tally sheet out.
But get this, I researched this next point just for you.
Thank you.
Gasoline has a flash point of 536 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Of course, you didn't ask that question.
Well, no, because you preempted me to ask that. I didn't realize that would have been that high, though. Honestly.
I didn't think so either, but let's
Especially-
not find out.
No, please, let's not. But being a gasoline, I mean,
Yeah.
very combustible.
Yeah.
I would have guessed it to be lower, but okay.
I mean, we're talking huge tanks, though, so I don't know.
Did you ever read the book
I don't know how
Fahrenheit?
physics work.
Did you ever read the book Fahrenheit 454?
No.
Do you know what that means?
No.
That's, if I'm remembering correctly, which again, I don't do that a lot. That's when the temperature of that paper burns,
Oh, interesting.
I believe is what it is, because it's about burning books and stuff.
Oh.
It's a really good book. It's been out for, well, I don't know, 70s, 60s, 70s maybe?
Okay.
I guess I don't remember what year it was published, but anyways, sorry.
Okay, so the tanks,
The tanks.
they were emptied.
Well, I hope so.
And then the station was abandoned
Why?
because he didn't know if it was going to blow up or not.
Well, I can't blame him there, but apparently the town didn't blow up for 19 years.
But the station wasn't demolished until 2 years later.
Okay.
But it was, they're saying it was the first casualty of the fire. Even
Was
though it
his
was,
business, basically.
Yes.
But it was elective
Yes.
abandonment.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so in 1980, exhaust pipes were put in, like big round exhaust pipes.
Did they just hammer in exhaust pipe saying this will work?
Pretty much.
Good
So
Lord.
this would enable the fumes to come out of the surface in
Right.
controlled locations
And then they light those on fire?
instead of being seeped into the local homes,
Oh, Jesus.
and it helped
I'm sure it did
until
until it didn't.
the fire moved on.
Oh, God.
And then the pipes became an entry point for oxygen.
And you know what happens with oxygen and fire?
Fire continues to burn.
Weird. That's a common theme through this right now. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
So health inspectors, they're like, maybe we should go to Centralia. Let's see what's going on here. And it was actually perfect timing, too, because while they were there,
Yes.
a 12-year-old boy saw smoke coming from his grandmother's backyard,
Oh, Jesus.
and he went to see what it was. And hello, he fell into a sinkhole. The ground completely gave way.
Oh, my God.
He managed to grab a hold of a root of a tree,
Thank God.
and his cousin who was nearby pulled him out.
Jesus, he's lucky. 'Cause
Yeah.
he probably would have died otherwise.
Yeah.
Wow.
So steam and gases and heat were wallowing past him, sometimes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, dear God.
What was the boy's name? I don't know. All right. That's a,
His name was Billy. I wrote it down later.
you're making shit up. Making shit up.
There is a name. I didn't write it down because it's not pertinent.
Was his name Billy Boy?
No.
Oh, but
Okay.
That
but
was.
this. I know. But
Dude's
the
horse.
sinkhole
All right.
was 150 feet deep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So the state government, like, okay, we got it. You proved it.
We should do something.
They approved a $42 million fund, which is $130 million today,
Good job.
to buy the Centralia homes from the residents to relocate.
But they didn't want to relocate. You should pay us to stay
some
here.
of them didn't.
I'm sure some did,
But
though.
the government didn't do a great job of handling this.
You don't say.
Houses were appraised.
Oh, Jesus.
Some of them were about $43,000, which is $150,000 today. You're welcome. But the offer, so $43,000, the offer was for $17,000.
Oh, fuck that.
One home was $36,000 appraisal.
Yeah.
They were offered $11,000.
And did it say go fuck yourself?
They did.
Good.
But if you didn't accept, they would not come back with a different offer. You either take it or you leave it.
See, that's horseshit because you can't fucking undercut it that much. Mm-hmm. I mean, you said $11,000. The house is appraised at 36. That's less than a third of the cost or the value of the house.
Yes.
And you're saying no. Well, you're fucked because you either stay or you don't do nothing. That's bullshit.
So
that is typical fucking government bullshit.
So imagine today, my house is $125,000. Here's $38,000.
Yeah, it's like
I hope this works for you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And Godspeed.
Right.
It's like, no.
Yeah, there's a shanty down the way.
You can't even buy a porta-john for that. I'm just kidding. You probably can. At least you have a place to shit, I guess.
So in 1992, the governor placed the homes in Centralia on eminent domain.
Okay.
So some people ended up moving.
Yep.
Some people stayed.
Sure.
In 1994, the government tried to reconstruct a part of Route 61, which goes straight through Centralia.
Okay.
And they had to build like a bypass temporarily so they could reconstruct this route, right?
Yeah.
So there were cracks all up and down the highway, but the bypass became permanent as reconstructing that part of 61 was impossible.
I was to say they probably couldn't do it.
No. That abandoned highway is known as the Graffiti Highway.
There's a lot of graffiti on it.
No, actually. Oh. I'm kidding. No, there was a guy who was trying to reconstruct it by the name of Graffiti, and they named it after him. Yes, I am. Graffiti Highway. It's full of graffiti.
Yes.
So this became the most iconic attraction for people to come to Centralia. So police actually used to chase people off the highway as it was getting more and more dangerous, just because huge cracks are in land, sinkholes and
crevices, all that
exactly.
Stuff. Yep.
So in June 1995, the last church standing is St. Ignatius.
Oh, Ignatius.
Mm-hmm. They had their final service in 1995, and they actually kind of treated it like a funeral.
I bet they did because the town was dying.
So that was June 95, but they didn't tear down the church until November of 97. I don't know why they're waiting so long.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised they just didn't abandon it. Why did they have to tear it down, I guess?
And then 2002, the post office shut down.
Oh, how are they going to get their post? No post on Sundays.
2009, more evictions. So the state reached an agreement that residents who wanted to stay could, but when they died, their property went to the state.
Instead of anyone else.
Yes, their homes could not be passed down to descendants.
Could they sell it to their descendant for $1?
No.
No matter what, if you lived there at that
states.
time. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
It's the states after that.
Seems kind of dicky, but all right.
So get this. There's a town nearby called Burnsville.
That is so fucking fantastic. Burnsville.
It's spelled B-Y-R-N.
I don't care.
Burnsville, but it's fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so
Burnsville.
It's just minutes south of Centralia.
Okay.
And it also was caught up in the same way, and they too abandoned all their homes and businesses. But it's like a teeny tiny town compared to Centralia.
Sure.
And then there's the town of Arteses.
Arteses?
Mm-hmm, and it's just minutes north.
Sounds very Greek.
But it has not become like Centralia yet, but it will be in a few decades.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So basically, by you saying that, does that mean like the stuff that's underground is just basically it's moving?
It's still moving.
It's just taking a while because it's burning through the coal that's underneath?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So, 2020, during the pandemic, more and more people were coming to the Graffiti Highway.
Okay.
I mean, they got nothing better to do, right?
You know, I hope they had masks on, but...
So, for more than one reason.
Gas mask. I'm just talking about for the fumes. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the pandemic. Everybody
What?
wore masks during the pandemic. Anyway.
That's not true.
So the state brought in dump trucks and they literally buried the graffiti highway with hundreds and hundreds of mounds of dirt.
Okay.
And if you get caught there, you get a pretty stiff fine.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
So
they covered it so that it's no longer like something that people can come and look at.
And that's the only reason why they covered it.
Yeah, they're just like, we don't want people in here. It's just too dangerous.
Stay out.
So technically you can still go there.
Sure.
But it's highly discouraged.
I don't know why.
You can still see plumes of gases and heat coming out of the ground.
Okay.
And there's still a chance of encountering sinkholes.
Oh, definitely.
And the highway is covered in dirt. Plus, they have like what are called berms, which are like artificial banks or ridges, so you can't like drive onto it.
Sure.
Yeah.
To block people from going there. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that is the town of Centralia. But have you ever heard of the game Silent Hill?
Yes.
So it was developed by Team Silent from Japan.
Yeah.
And it is a survival horror video game franchise.
Correct.
There's like a ton of them.
There is, and they even made a movie too.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
So it's known for its psychological horror elements.
Yep.
And it's set in a fictional town of Silent Hill, which is shrouded in fog and often plagued with supernatural events.
Correct.
So the games typically follow protagonists who find themselves the games typically follow protagonists who find themselves trapped in Silent Hill, where their fears and nightmares manifest as horrible creatures and environments.
Yep.
The series is renowned for its atmospheric storytelling, upsetting environments, and themes of psychological trauma and religious symbolism.
Sure.
And there is a rumor that this game is based off of Centralia, Pennsylvania, but the town of Silent Hill is entirely fictional,
Right.
and created just for the game.
Okay.
People think there's a lot of crossover there, and it's just rumor.
So it could be completely coincidental.
Yeah. It's most likely coincidental.
Right. I mean, people grasp at straws all the time to connect shit, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool though. I mean, it's kind of neat.
So the fire
Yeah.
will continue to burn
Oh dear.
for another 250 years.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Thankfully, no one has been directly killed by the fires, but many have experienced health problems from the
Sure.
gases.
I can imagine.
Today, there is a church remaining, and they built it. So it is a Ukrainian church. It still
Really?
stands today on a hill and continues to have services, but the church was allowed
So-
to build.
You would say that hill that it was built on was not silent?
Correct.
All right.
There's lots of chorus going on.
Lots of bell.
Hallelujah chorus.
All right.
The church was allowed to build there and stay because it's rock underneath and not coal.
Sure. So
Yeah.
they did their due diligence and made sure, like, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Today,
How many people live there?
less than 5.
Less than 5? I
Yes.
feel like, okay, hold on a
In
sec.
2020, there were 5.
And now it's less than 5.
I don't know
Did someone die?
exactly. We don't. I haven't found anything, but in
Okay.
2020 there was 5. So it's possible
5.
between 2020 2024
Or someone went off to
there
college.
might be less. Yeah, whatever.
little Billy boy went off to college to.
There's less than 5.
That's fucking crazy. 5 people.
Yeah.
The fact it's even still a town is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just blow it up for this fucking at this point. Wow, that is weird. That's weird, wild stuff.
So I found an article through history.com, Wikipedia, LA Times, Smithsonian Magazine, CentraliaPA.org. And then there was also a video that I watched on YouTube called America's Burning Ghost Town.
Okay.
Which is also
Burning Ghost Town. Nice.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is Centralia, Pennsylvania.
That is weird. I've never ever heard of that before today.
Yeah.
That's crazy because like I feel like you should have heard of that. I mean, it's been going on for quite some fucking time.
Yeah.
And I have never heard of Centralia or some random burning fucking town.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Or poor Burnsville.
Poor Burnsville.
So aptly named.
It started in 1962, and it's going to continue on for another 250 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do they think it's going to go on for another 250 years? There's just that much coal underneath
That
there?
much coal, that many tunnels, and then
Okay.
they're probably also there's probably some algorithm math problem that
Right,
says
yeah.
this is how much has burned since 1962.
Well, yeah, it's like it burns at this rate per
Right.
minute, blah, 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 whatever it might be. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I'm sure someone a lot smarter than
It's
us.
a math question, probably.
And I'm good at math, but I'm not good at that.
I'm very bad at math.
I know.
So any math question, I look to somebody else. I'm like, huh? What's the answer? Did it sound like a parrot?
I mean, a little bit.
What's the answer?
Oh, my God. Oh, that's pretty great. But anyways.
Okay, please save me. Say you have an idiom.
Okay. Would you? So I've got like a 2-part idiom.
Okay.
They kind of go together, but they're, I guess you could say they're related, but I did 2 different ones that kind of coincide with each other.
Okay.
I have, in my time of research on it, which was not extensive, I'm just being honest, both of them I found were disproved. So it's kind of,
So this is no longer the History Buffoons podcast?
no, it's still history because, I mean, obviously it's there. I kind of thought they were funny,
Okay.
more or less, because of what
They're not true.
they were disproved, and I go over one of them
Okay.
a little bit as why.
I am ready to hear.
All right, so the first one is a shot of whiskey.
Okay.
Okay,
I know it literally.
correct. So back in the Old West, someone would go into a saloon, one of the 27 in Centralia,
Perhaps.
even though that was the East, perhaps, as long as they weren't on fire. But anyways, someone would go into a saloon, and if they didn't have enough money to buy whiskey, because whiskey was the main, you wouldn't go in and buy a gin and tonic.
Right. Drink of choice is
Or
whiskey.
what was available.
What was available.
If he didn't have enough money, he would trade a bullet for a shot glass. Before it was called a shot glass, apparently, is what this was saying, of whiskey. So a measure of whiskey, basically. And that has been proven pretty much false. Mainly, the main reason is basically, if you look at what the cost of a bullet was back then, compared to a cost of what an actual beverage, any beverage, not just whiskey, anything like that would be, not even close. A bullet cost about 2.5 cents
Oh, wow.
back in that time. A shot of whiskey, air quotes, was 25 cents. You need 10 bullets to get that one. So you wouldn't really be giving a shot. You'd be giving shots, if you will. So basically, because of that, they're saying, that's not true.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because picture all the old Western type movies, any type of movie set back in the 1800s. Like, I could see that, but no. Apparently not, which is kind of a bummer because I couldn't really find, because I've looked at this one before, I couldn't really find
Bullet of whiskey?
a bullet for whiskey.
For whiskey. Yeah. Okay. Bullet for whiskey. Yeah.
There is bullet bourbon whiskey though. And
Is that where that came from?
no, because it's also spelled with an I. Bullet bourbon is spelled with an I, where obviously a bullet's just no I.
I feel like they missed the mark on that one.
I know. I think it has something to do with one of the founders' names, I believe.
Okay, so it's just ironic. Okay.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
So the next one kind of goes over, it's related, because if you have too many shots of whiskey, what would you be the next day?
Hungover.
Yeah, so hangover, a lot of people thought came from British sailors. They would basically purchase a spot on a rope to hang over if they drank too much in case they would throw up or anything, so they wouldn't be like, I don't know, choking on their own vomit kind of thing.
Yucky poo.
So apparently it derived from people say it derived from British soldiers doing that, or British sailors, excuse me, doing that. But apparently that is completely false. Basically, all hangover really means is something that remained or simply survived. So basically, you have too much to drink the night before. It's still there the next day, but not in a good way, basically. So over time, it got pretty much just associated with drinking too much or too many drugs. Name your poison, whatever. But I really think it would be funny is if like, man, I drank a lot. I should go buy a spot on that rope to hang over for the night till I wake up.
Right.
So I was kind of bummed that wasn't actually true.
Do you think like all the blood rushed to their heads? I would think that would make it worse.
That would be terrible.
And then it would go up his nose when he vomits, and oh man,
that sounds even worse.
That's acid, stomach acid right in your nose.
Bile and all. No.
Have you ever had Coke come out of your nose? It is not fun. Ask me how I know.
I've never had Coke go in my nose either, but either way.
Not that Coke.
Oh, my bad.
Soda.
Well, Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it.
Yes.
Back
but man, can you just imagine vomiting and then it going up?
No, that sounds just god awful, disgusting right now. And I kind of wish you wouldn't have said that. But either way,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh Lord. Well, I suppose
He's gonna end it for me.
I'm gonna, because you're laughing too hard. Thank you, folks. All right, buffoons, that's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore.
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on Reddit, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.